I don't know. Somebody told me that they, like, right as they're 5, 4, 3, 2, 1ing on Riverside, that they do something to, like, get everybody loose. And that was, like, my attempt to get you loose. Pause.
At what point do you think, how many episodes in do you think before you lose that joke?
Never.
Oh, it's unfortunate.
I don't believe in a one-time joke.
I know you're a beat the dead horse joke
I'm my mother's daughter. You know, she always says, beat the horse until it's dead and then beat it some more. And then it'll be funny again.
That's not my method of comedy.
You don't have one.
I'm a hot girl. I get anything I want, this is my world. I make big moves in my big heels. Since the day that I was born, I've been a big deal.
So this is a question that I asked Sam last night.
All right.
And it was inspired by my Spotify listening. And I said, I also had an edible. And I was listening to the shower.
We're doing that now? We do edibles? I didn't know you did edibles.
Well, I had run out of
the other stuff.
Of the other stuff. Yeah, of the Benjamin. So I had to.
The edibles was the last. I thought you left. You left at halftime to go to the weed store.
So, sorry. This was the night before then. So can you just go with the timeline here?
Sorry.
Stop picking it apart. This is part of the story.
Okay.
So I was taking a shower and I was listening to music, as one does, you know, my everything shower. And I got out of the shower and I said to Sam, is Chappell Roan the greatest vocalist of our generation? To which Sam said, oh, sorry, but you're our generation now. And that one stung. But I wanted to ask you that same question.
Adele is a slightly better vocalist.
Okay.
Than Chappell, but she's very good. I think Chappell's more pop culture-y. I think she has much better arrangements. Like when you think about Pink Pony Club being acoustic at one point, she was just
that's crazy.
Doing it outside. They turned that into the Stud Buds anthem, an absolute banger. Keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. I also didn't realize until just this weekend that her mom has like a big Southern accent and that she's talking about her mom in her Southern accent. What? You don't know that?
No, I'm confused how you don't know that from the lyrics of Pink Pony Club.
Didn't. I just hadn't listened to it that deep. Like,
okay.
Because she kind of strings. We'll just move on. We'll move on.
Okay.
Welcome to Let Her Shoot, the only podcast that makes fun of one another. The co-hosts covers women's sports the way that we want them covered. We cover it with no bullshit, no kid gloves. A lot of comedy, respect for the athletes, of course, respect for the fans, respect for the people that throw onto the court and end up in jail. All the reasons to stay locked in. We got Sarah Chovnick, two-time Emmy award-winning producer here. You can follow her on whatever the fuck the IG handle is that I'm never going to remember. Chavi.
It's really not that hard.
_S.
Yeah, that's it.
Chavi _S. Trysta Krick, 0-time Emmy award-winning talent, 0-time Emmy award-nominated talent. Because they never really nominate talent, Sarah.
No, that's not true.
Well, not for these things. That's how they end up doing the little mischief where they move things around and they try to put talent as producers so that they can get an Emmy. Yeah, the piece of content that I basically produced, my South Korean coffee short, got an Emmy. And guess what? I didn't get the Emmy, even though I fucking created the whole thing from soup to nuts, and then somebody shot it and edited it and they got the Emmy.
Okay.
So, truthfully.
Typical talent complaining about their, you know.
Am I typical talent? Anyway, we have a loaded show today. There is drama in the WNBA. We've got injuries. We've got breakups. We've got benchings. We've got trades. We have the mean green toy being thrown at players 2 times. Plus, the GOAT of the pitch is back scoring game winners. I'm not talking about Trinity Rodman. I am talking about Marta. And that train refuses to leave the station for good because she keeps retiring and unretiring. And it's like, yo, she should not retire. Anyway, good morning. Good afternoon.
Good evening. Good night. It's good. It's not morning for you. It's 1 p.m.
Anyway.
I don't know where I was going with that.
I was going to tell you about
You were going to
tea,
tell me. I was going to say, you were going to tell me about, you wanted to share the meaning of tea and where it came from.
Yes. So we always get in to start.
Are you about to tell me it's drag queens?
No, we always get into the weekly tea before we do the real stuff. And so I was on TikTok, obviously, because I'm such a Gen Zer, you know, and which I'm
oldest Gen Z in the world.
Yeah, just a Paleolithic Gen Z. And there was this guy that was talking about an older gay man who put him on like where tea comes from, which is like a part of gay lore. And the word information, the word information is where it came from. And when you say the word information, the T is silent. And so it's like, hey, I have the information, but what are you not saying? What are you not telling me? What in the story is missing here that I should know?
I still feel like that probably came from drag queens, though, to be honest.
Well, like
they're like the starters of all culture. I mean,
yeah, but that's the way that the origin story is. Like, what are you not saying? What's the tea?
The tea this week is that Kate Martin is apparently back on the market.
Kate Martin, a sex symbol within the WNBA.
Sex symbol.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot
Kate
of
Martin
girls
is
that
who
love
got
her.
Sam. Listen, Kate Martin is who got Sam into being a basketball fan. So
I had a call just now about how you can't cover the MNBA the same way that you cover the WNBA, and Kate Martin is one of the reasons why. Because fans, you don't have men. Well, maybe you do. You don't have like, oh, I got into the MNBA because I just love the way that Jokic moves. You know, you don't have that.
Ew. No.
You don't have that.
Gross.
You know, you have like, ooh, I just got into it through Kate Martin. Now I'm locked into the Valkyries. Put your V's up. Ooh.
So Kate Martin, we kind of got a hint of this because she deleted all the photos of her girlfriend Claire off of her Instagram, which is like the Gen Z way of announcing a breakup, you know, is like you delete them completely off your socials. And they still follow each other, so maybe there's like hope of rekindling. I don't know. We haven't gotten the full block as of yet. But Kate Martin, from what it looks like,
to block someone when we break up with them? I've never done that.
That's what Gen Z does.
They block them?
Or they unfollow them. They get their friends to unfollow them. It's like a whole big thing, you know?
Okay, got it.
Do you not do that?
Wildly childish to me. All my friends still follow exes of mine.
Do we think that is why we've seen an excess of green being thrown at Valkyries games?
I think you were right in the group chat and on our call about this being the new bra to the Beatles. Yes. I think are the new send the bra to Ringo or to Paul McCartney.
Right, because we don't see bras being thrown at a Lakers game. You know? No one's throwing their bra at LeBron James.
What I will say is that the person that has been throwing the green machine, which, by the way, shout out to Sid Colson for just one of the funniest people I've ever met.
She's so funny.
I've never met her. One of the funniest people on the internet around the W I've ever seen, who pretended to be the green machine and just like acted out what the green machine was feeling and thinking and saying.
Yeah.
Great content, by the way.
And then Angel Reese, after because the first one happened, right? The first one happened at a Valkyries game. The second one happened at a Chicago Sky game. So obviously the Mean Green is traveling, but I think it's two different people because they said the guy that did it at the first game was arrested. So it's not the same guy that threw it at
Maybe it's a syndicate. A green machine syndicate.
Oh my God! What if it's
a RICO charge on the conspiracy to put green machines on the court?
Maybe it's like the Washington State flag that follows around, you know, college game day that you see at every college game day game. It's like that, but it's the green machine at every Valkyries game. The players, I think they thought it was funny at first. I don't think they think it's funny now.
Well, and then you can kind of tell who is uptight and who's not. You saw Sophie Cunningham,
someone is going to get hurt.
Wing being like, we need to stop this. Someone's getting hurt. Someone's going to get hurt.
I think she was being tongue-in-cheek. I think she was being tongue. I think she was making a joke.
I don't think so. I think
she was making a joke.
And Sid Colson made a smirky emoji after that. And Sid's like, I don't think so. And so the person got put in jail. And my question, and I said this today on social, if it wasn't would they get put in jail though? If it was any other item?
Ooh,
that
yeah,
was
like if they
rubber,
threw. I mean, it is rubber.
Yeah, but that was rubber. Like if it was something with the same material, but not.
If it was like a rubber truck.
Yeah, or like something with soft edges. Rubber trucks have sharp edges.
Like a ball. Like someone just like threw
a
like a little Nerf ball on the ground.
Harder than
a little bouncy ball.
And yeah, like a bouncy ball. If we threw a bouncy ball onto the court, which I think is way more dangerous than a dildo.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I don't feel like you're tripping and falling over a green.
No, you see it right there. It's
and if you are,
green.
then I'm sorry, but that's hilarious, and that deserves to get.
If it was a camo colored, then maybe I would have a little more empathy. The thing is lime green.
Camo?
Yeah,
blending
like
into the floor of the.
Yeah, blends into the floor. Yes.
Idiot.
Yes. Anyway, I think people need to take it less seriously than they're taking it. It's like it's all fun and games, honestly.
Maybe if you want Kate Barton, slide into her DMs and don't throw.
I still think about this. So we had Paige Nielsen on the pod a couple of weeks ago, last week, whatever it was. Time's just flying, and I can't help but to continue to think about the fact that her wife, a civilian, slid into her DMs and it worked. And they are now married. I just think about it. I'm like, what? That's a thing? What?
Have you ever slid into an athlete's DMs?
I don't know. Maybe?
I feel like if you have to think about it, the answer is probably yes.
No, I think if I have to think about it, the answer is probably no.
No, because, like, I know for a fact that I have not ever slid into the...
Yeah, I comment on things in message form, but is that me being like, hey, I'm shooting my shot? I've never been like, hey, I'm shooting my shot.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So you haven't,
like, shoot your shot with somebody, it would be, like, more memorable.
Yeah, fair enough. Satou is out indefinitely, we found out today.
Satou Sabally, the belle of the ball of the offseason. Former Dallas Wings player who moved on quite spicily from the Dallas Wings, which we now understand.
Spicily.
Yeah, we now understand that Dallas, and we'll talk about this a little later, is a dumpster fire from top to bottom in their organization. So she moves on. She goes to Phoenix, which we thought was going to be this phenomenal situation for her. She's paired with Alyssa Thomas, another beast from the Connecticut Sun, comes over. They are building a quote-unquote super team. They move on from DiJonai. DiJonai goes to Dallas. And then Alyssa Thomas's wife, DeWanna Bonner, gets picked up on this team. It's the only team DeWanna will go to, right? And now, Satou, her production has declined severely. She was getting like 25 to 30 minutes a game. She's an all-star. Didn't play in the all-star game due to injury. But having an all-star type year, DeWanna Bonner comes, and the head coach is like, hey, we don't have enough room for all these bigs to play all at the same time. And DeWanna is changing the complexion of our offense. Yada, yada, yada. Satou's production just plummets.
Dips. Yeah.
Her minutes decline. And now and then she was benched in the second half of last game that she played in. He says, the head coach, she's not bringing the energy. And now she's out indefinitely for personal reasons, and they are rumoring, the rumors on the streets are saying it's because she doesn't like to play with DeWanna Bonner.
Who are the streets, though, in this case? Like, who are
the fans, the internet streets?
The fan streets? Do we think, like, because... Remember, this was the whole, like, DeWanna Bonner wanted out of the Fever, too, because she didn't like Caitlyn. Like, I feel like there's, like, people who want to say DeWanna Bonner is...
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That's actually true. So I spoke
Do we know that?
I spoke with someone who is on the MNBA side of the Indiana Pacers. And so they are hand in glove with the Fever. And I said, oh, yeah, something about DeWanna going to Phoenix to, come back home, be with the family. I'm not making any allegations. I'm just like, I'm expecting the best, DeWanna and Alyssa. And he's like, oh, no. She didn't like playing with Caitlyn. I said, what? he goes, yeah, she didn't like playing with Caitlyn. And I go, well, I get it. Caitlyn's a heliocentric type player, meaning the whole offense revolves around what she wants to do. She takes time to gel with her and what her passes are like. And he's like, yeah, no, it wasn't a personal thing, but she did not like playing with Caitlyn Clark, period.
Interesting.
So sometimes the most obvious explanation is
probably the right one.
The correct one.
What's that called again?
Occam's razor.
Occam's razor. Yeah.
Thank you. A little quiz. I hate quiz time, but it's good when I know it. So she's out indefinitely. This is not good.
Yeah. No, it's not good. It definitely isn't. We
don't have. She could be traded at any moment, which we'll talk about another player a little bit later on in the show. But trade deadline is approaching, and if Satou gets traded to a contender or to a team that's like right there, I mean, she's a game changer. I don't know if she's really still injured or whether that's why her energy hasn't been there, but she's been dealing with a lot. The CBA negotiations, her being out, all-star, new player being integrated, but leaving the team, unless you really have something going on in your personal life, this is what we saw with DeWanna Bonner before she asked to leave the team.
Before she asked to leave, yeah. Where do you think she would fit the best?
Somebody wrote online, which I thought was very funny. They said, hey, Satou, Minnesota is great this time of year.
The LYNX can't possibly add another superstar, could they?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a cap expert. I don't know what that trade would have to look like, but they're pretty damn stacked as they already are. I think a team like a Valkyries could use her. A team like that sort of a team. I think you don't want to send her to Connecticut. That'd be a bad spot for her.
What about the Aces?
The Aces would be good. The Wings actually could use her. She could be used on the Wings.
She's not going to go back to Dallas. There's no way she's going back to Dallas.
But that would be, well, she's got Paige now. I don't know. But it's not good. I'm just going to say it sent, I called you immediately. I said, oh, Sarah, we got some tea, the silent T. Yo, we got to thank our first sponsor, Fuchs Financial, a financial advisory that helps real people plan for achievable retirements. Ben is a real one, by the way. Go and follow him on his YouTube. There's no scripts, there's no sales pitch. He just gives you some advice that you can use. Fuchs Financial, planning without pressure. I like that.
Moving on to some big WNBA news. The trade deadline is a week away. We were just talking about that. This was Satou. Are they going to beat the trade deadline? Where could she be used? You mentioned Dallas. Well, DiJonai Carrington is now out of Dallas as of last week. They moved Nalissa Smith, her girlfriend, out 2 weeks ago. And now DiJonai's out too. The Dallas Wings traded her to the LYNX. They received third-year forward Diamond Miller, Carly Samuelson, who is, I believe, out. Right? She's out for the rest of the year. Okay,
and a free agent.
And then also Minnesota's second round pick of next year's draft. And then they had
2 years from now's draft.
You're right, 2027's draft. And then in order to complete that trade, they also had to waive Tierra McCowan. The Wings did. So it feels like they gave up a lot without getting a lot in return.
The Wings, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing. This is huge. Because you got the Minnesota LYNX, a team who have the shortest odds to win the title, have the best record in the WNBA, only lost one game at home with the MVP, who won Defensive Player of the Year last year, multiple guards on the wings that you love with the stud buds. And you pick up DiJonai Carrington, who was most improved player last year, and has an absolute tenacity defensively to strap players like Sabrina. Which is that, I think, in my mind, what they were doing. We're prepping for the finals. The Liberty go out and get who we thought we were going to get, which was Emma Mieseman. And now we decide to make our own big balls move. DiJonai is a big balls move. DiJonai's a free agent after this year. So from the Dallas perspective...
And Dallas was not going to re-sign her.
Dallas had no probably reason to re-sign her. Things have not gone well. Nalissa's gone. There's really no reason for her to stay other than the fact that she and Paige are so close. Mm-hmm. So maybe if you want to be nice to Dallas, you say, well, maybe they think that they can get Diamond Miller and keep her, and they don't care about Carly because Carly's a free agent and she's out for the year, and then they get a second round pick. But you have to, and you waive Tierra McCowan, who's getting paid $200,000 and has been injured and not very good. But so for me, for the Lynx, this is like a really huge move for them as a title contender.
Do you think that this is the official tanking beginning? I mean, are we seeing this now? Is clearing off the racks in Dallas just making room for Azzi?
I feel like it has to be. I don't know what the fuck Dallas is thinking or doing, and they might stumble in to getting a great pick in Azzi Fudd. They were winning way too many games. We have Chinese basketball accounts logging how many minutes Lee Yuru is getting and what their record is with her averaging more than 15 minutes a game and less than 15 minutes a game. They're a disaster. And I think that it has to either be reckless incompetence or it has to be intentional. And maybe both.
Man Bun has to be gone after this season, right?
Cannot stay. And honestly, the leader of the pack, Kurt Miller, who hired Man Bun and is like besties with the Man Bun, has to go too. It has to go. And DiJonai, by the way, was questioning Chris Cocklane's Man Bun and his decision-making on social media and really has been kind of iced out ever since to a degree. So now Paige is an orphan. She's got nobody on her side but the rookies and Lee Yuru. It's JJ Quinterly, it's Isaiah James, it's her, it's Lee. And so if I'm Dallas, what I'm thinking, this is a smart person's thought, so it's probably not going to happen. I would be loading up to get Lauren Betts and Azzi Fudd. Let's trade a future first, and let's get Lauren Betts as our center.
And just take the top two picks?
Fudd. And let's get the top two picks. Or three. You could get Azzi at 3. Olivia Miles might go 2. So that's a possibility.
Yeah, but you're taking a risk there. I guess you'd be happy still, right, if you got Lauren Betts and you got Olivia
Miles is very good. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. You would be happy, but I feel like you get 2 of the first 3 picks and you don't come home with Azzi for Paige. I feel like that's not...
It's a tough one. You might even take Azzi first and see
There's a lot of people, though. There's a lot of people who don't want Azzi to go to Dallas.
Most people, I think, are dumb.
Well, no, I mean like fans of Azzi's, that fans of Paige and Azzi that don't want her because they want her to be in a better situation than Dallas.
Yeah, but I think that makes it a better situation, right? Paige,
as long as management is different.
Yeah, Man Bun will have to go, but if Paige is suffering with Man Bun, then at least let's get her another two-way wing that can shoot the lights out from 3. And Enrique's a free agent after this year as well. I wouldn't be shocked if Enrique got traded as well. For maybe you trade Enrique somewhere and you try to get a draft pick out of that. And you're not getting any players of note, just based on what I think Dallas's perspective is right now.
Well, Dallas is the Mount Rushmore of horrific team owners, so I guess we'll see what happens. But we're talking about the Lynx. Speaking of the Lynx, Fee went down with an ankle injury, up 40 points.
50 points.
Up 50 points, I'm sorry. Why was she even in that game?
I don't know. I was so upset about it. The sprain, and it was like a transition bucket. I think once you're up 30, you should probably just sit your stars. Sit them. When you're up 40, you definitely sit your stars. When you're up 50, you call a timeout and you put in the girls that are at the end of the bench. Becky Hammon already said in her post-game conference, I knew we weren't going to win that game, and so we just let go of the rope and we put other players in. When you see other players come in that are not Asia Wilson, you got to take your MVP off the floor. And I know that Cheryl Reeve had other things to say.
Cheryl Reeve doubled down on the decision even after the injury to say this always reminds me of, I'm going to take it to the M Sport real quick, but I remember in his college year, Tua broke his hip because they were up 30 points and Saban left him in for like the last down of the first half. And everyone was like, why was he in? And Saban went up on the he afterwards, and he has said many times since, like, I made the wrong decision leaving him in that game. That was my decision. I should have taken him out. It was my responsibility. We were up 30 points. There's no reason for him to play. It feels crazy to me that your star gets injured and then you double down on the decision to leave her in the game after a 50-point lead. Just say, you know what? In hindsight, I should have taken her out of the game. There was no reason for her to be there.
And that's why I don't like Cheryl Reeve. It's one of the reasons that I'm not a huge... I think she's a fine coach. Just don't really like her personally. I don't know her. Sure, she's fine. Sure, she's lovely. I just don't like that type of move.
She said, I don't think the game was over.
I mean, that's insane. You're up 50. You're up 50 freaking points. They have 42 points in the third quarter.
I don't think the game is over?
Come on.
Are you watching the game? Are you at the game? The game was over.
Game was over.
Anyway, you know what else is over? Aaliyah Edwards' time in Washington is over, it seems.
Oh my God, I'm so bummed. This girl, Aaliyah, got taken 6th overall last WNBA draft. 6th overall. Mm-hmm. She was fucking electric in Unrivaled. A one-on-one monster, beat Breanna Stewart one-on-one. Has post moves, has the ability to do all this good quality basketball stuff. She was a franchise pillar. And then the bombshells came onto the island. The bombshells
entered the villa.
Bombshells entered the villa, Sarah, and they were quick to just discard her. She had some injuries, and that's essentially why she didn't play right away. But now Kiki comes in like Iris, and all of a sudden, Aaliyah Edwards, who's Hannah in this perspective, is just out inexplicably. So, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Her minutes are down. I think Kiki Iriafin has outplayed her, and now they don't have really a spot for Aaliyah. I guess, why do you even draft Kiki? It is important to note that this is a totally new front office that did not draft Aaliyah Edwards, and so they're going to value the players that they drafted over her.
I'm trying to look up her actual minutes here.
She played 10 minutes and 3 minutes against Atlanta, and then she got injured. 10 minutes against LA, 14 minutes. She's averaging 13 minutes per game. And last year, she averaged 22 minutes a game. That's a pretty significant decrease.
You know, I feel like you usually see like one good rookie, per team per year, right? That is like the standout rookie. But to have two that have come and really taken over this team, and you still have Georgia Amore to come in. Georgia Amore.
Well, Georgia Amore and Sonia Citron have nothing to do with Aaliyah Edwards. They don't play the same position. But Lucy Olsen and Sonia, you talk about you ask the question in terms of rookies don't usually hit. Mm-hmm. I mean, they have 3 rookies that have hit. And I know that Lucy isn't crazy production-wise, 3.6 points per game, 1 rebound. But she's giving you 13 to 17 minutes a game. And just being the stable force, shooting 40% from the field, getting you a 3 or 2 per game. I really think that Washington needs, as crazy as this Aaliyah Edwards stuff is, Washington needs some flowers in terms of their drafting, because you never see 3, which probably would have been 4 rookies pop with one draft
if Georgia was healthy. Imagine if Georgia was healthy.
And they need some guard play. Outside of Sonia, their point guard play is really just not good at all. It's not good. So, yeah, I'm sad about Aaliyah. I don't know where she's going to go. It's very weird. It's very niche, too. I feel like there's not a lot of people talking about it. None of the WNBA shows are talking about it. And
you haven't heard a word about it.
Yeah, she didn't play last game against the Dream. And the only thing that really makes sense is that they're getting ready to ship her out.
I mean, over a month ago, there were reports that came out that they were trying to shop her around, but it seems like there's been no movement in the last month. Do you think they're unable to get a home for her? Or do you think that they're unable to get the deal that they think they deserve for her?
I think they probably think she's worth a lot. She's a 6th overall pick in 2024. I would feel she would be worth a lot as well. So we'll have to monitor that situation.
We'll keep monitoring it.
She would be good in Dallas, though.
What does Dallas have to give, though, at this point?
That's a great question. I don't know. Picks, but I wouldn't give a pick up for her. It's a tough situation.
It's tough. Another thing we're keeping an eye on is Indiana. The Fever are on a hot streak right now. They've won the last 5 in a row. No Caitlin Clark. What does this team look like without Caitlin Clark? I mean, they've won 5 in a row. Is that a fluke? Is it the chemistry is good? What's going on over there?
Well, number one, did you end up watching the Fever Storm game that we were agreeing to watch together?
I watched the last quarter.
What did you see in that last quarter?
Well, I saw the storm back.
I like that way that you put it, storm back.
Did you like that?
Yeah, I did. The thing that you're seeing is our girl, literal friend of pod, Ari McDonald, is fucking that girl. Really. She is the reason that they have gelled. They needed another guard to go along with Kelsey Mitchell. They had her on a hardship. They let her go. Then they brought her back. Now she's there full time. She's getting her master's at the same time. And she's steadying the ship. She's had a couple of really good games. I want to say she had 27 the other night. She had, 27 against the Mercury. And 4 assists. Just an insanely productive night for her. She's only averaging 10 points per game, but she's playing 30-plus minutes per night. And she's making it easy for Kelsey Mitchell to get open. She's getting the ball, in an efficient way to Aaliyah Boston. And Aaliyah Boston's just continuing her double-double streak. So I think it really is because of Ari and what she's done in transition, what she's done as like a pure point guard. And she's my height. She's actually probably a little smaller than me. So for her to be really the connective tissue on this team is super impressive. They've beaten the Mercury already in this 5-game win streak. They're 8-2 in their last 10. And the only two games that they lost were both against the Liberty. They beat the Aces, they beat the Wings, and then they just beat the Storm on the road. So, I think it's impressive. A lot of fans are basically putting a lot of dirt on Caitlin Clark's name right now, which will not be respected, will not be allowed.
No.
We're not doing that.
We're not doing that. No, we're not doing that for sure. Speaking of, though, did you read any of this article I sent you from the
I did not. It's some bro Bible shit. I'm not into it.
It's no.
I figured you could just tell me.
I'll tell you.
What the nerds have
Wall
to say
Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal, which is, it's a news source. It's a publication. It's owned by Rupert Murdoch, so take that with a grain of salt. Take that for what you will. Owned by the same people who own Fox News, for the people who don't know who Robert Murdoch is. So Sean McClain, who was a previous Trump administration something or other, I don't know, wrote an op-ed that Caitlin Clark's basically, this article, I'll read you the headline, because the headline says pretty much all you need to know about this. So the headline is, Opinion, the WNBA and Caitlin Clark's Civil Rights. So, immediately...
Wait, can you say that again?
Caitlin Clark's Civil Rights.
Caitlin Clark's Civil Rights?
Yes. So this...
What's the first sentence say? What could they possibly
If the league won't act... If the league won't act to protect its superstar from a hostile work environment, the government should. So then he goes on to call for government intervention of the apparently the hostile work environment that the WNBA has produced for Caitlin Clark, and it's a danger to her and to her civil rights, apparently. Not really sure what civil rights those are. But apparently hard fouls is a violation of Caitlin Clark's civil rights, and he wants the government to step in and do something about it. What? I don't know.
Are we being trolled? This was a Wall Street Journal article.
This is a Wall Street Journal opinion article. Here's the thing. And I think this is like the most important note is, are Caitlin Clark, like, you can sit there and take all the pieces out of it that you want, right? Like, is Caitlin Clark, does she get fouled more than other players? I mean, maybe. Are her civil rights being violated? No. Like, those are two completely different things. Like, tougher players get fouled more. That is part of sport.
I think Caitlin Clark absolutely is targeted. I think that is the case. It does not rise to any level where someone, and I think stars in general are, especially ones that have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder and talk as much shit as Caitlin talks, become like, all right, we'll see, you know?
Right,
so
yeah.
Give Caitlin Clark a little bit of the business, a little hip check, a little this, a little that.
Sure.
And I do agree that the league has been tussling with their refereeing, as we've talked about many times in the past.
Tussling, yeah. Yeah.
And how much are we allowing hard fouls? And Caitlin Clark does deserve a superstar whistle. That is facts. She currently does not get a superstar whistle. Paige, I think, gets a superstar whistle already.
Okay.
And that's probably because we all like Paige.
Is this like decided on, like in a back room somewhere, that like certain
Caitlin
players
Clark
get a superstar
let me just tell you
whistle?
this. Yeah, let me just tell you how this goes on the basketball side. I don't know how it goes in other sports. But the more annoying you are to work with, the less I want to do things to help you. And Caitlin Clark literally motherfucks refs, whether she's in jersey or not. She's in street clothes, and she's threatening these refs and, like, calling them all kinds of crazy names and talking about their aunties and sisters and cousins. She's clapping in their face. She's pointing at them. I'll see you after the game type shit. Okay?
So meet me outside. Catch me outside. That's what she does.
When you have a player talking about catch me outside, how about that? And I'm a ref, I am allowing you to get beat the shit out of. Period.
Period. Yeah.
And that's probably like why she hates them so much. And then she says things and then they hate her more. But Paige doesn't do any of that. And so I think that's what's going on. That's my take on it.
But let's go back to this real quick, because does this op-ed not just hurt Caitlin more in the long run?
Absolutely. If I see this, I'm like, more of this bullshit?
Yeah, really? Because you're just like, oh, so now the government is fighting for Caitlin? Now we have Donald Trump against us because we foul Caitlin? Like, this is just going to put a bigger target on her back. That's all it's going to do. It's just going to put a bigger target on her back, and it's going to further divide her MAGA fan base from the rest of normal society.
If I'm her, I would say at the next press conference I'm allowed to be in, I do not need protecting. I do not need
Secret Service on the court with me.
Anyone stepping in on my behalf saying that the league needs to protect me. I'm fine. This is basketball. Please stop.
Could you imagine if someone threw a fever game?
I need it.
There is not going to be a team in Boston, it seems like. At least not next year.
It's a weird thing that's going on. So, I got excited. There's been multiple games in multiple years where the Connecticut Sun have played at TD Garden, which is where the Boston Celtics play. There were reports on the first, on Saturday, I think, Friday, that the Connecticut Sun were being sold to Celtics minority owner, Steve Pagluka, aka Pags, for $325 million, right? That's great. He has already a connection with the Celtics, wants to bring the team. Nobody likes the fact that the Connecticut Sun are in Connecticut. It's a bullshit place to go. Mohegan Sun Arena's not great. They don't have a good practice facility. They're practicing in a rec center. It's bad. So he's like, we're going to bring him to Boston. So that was like very exciting. And then the WNBA
for like a couple hours. For like 2 hours, and then the WNBA decided to rain all over that parade.
Yeah, they were like, no, we're going to wait until they're going to be an expansion team in 2033. So we're going to need to keep the Connecticut Sun in Connecticut, which I think is the dumbest fucking decision
I mean,
that you could ever have.
I thought it was interesting. Like, it seemed like there was like some serious beef between the WNBA and like the city of Boston when they released this statement, because it was like, basically it was like, Boston has not earned their right to have a team yet, that there are 12 other cities in line first, and they'll get it when we say they get it, which I find wild.
Yeah, that is really crazy. And we've seen teams move before. That was like happened when a new ownership group comes in. What I heard on the QT, which I'm bringing to the community, is that they want to allow the WNBA wants to give this Boston Celtics new owner, which I'm forgetting his name, they want to give him the team. So he wants to, down the road, have an expansion team that's literally connected to the Celtics. Versus this minority owner who will eventually be selling his shares from the Celtics, because we had a new sale, right? The Celtics just sold to a new guy. So Bill Chisholm ended up buying the team instead of Pags. And now Pags is salty, wants to buy the Connecticut Sun and have them play in Boston at the Boston TD Garden Arena, which would have probably still worked out just fine. And the WNBA is like, hey, we want to give the team to Chisholm in 2033 when he's ready to expand.
They said no. So now another investment group has reportedly bid $300 million to keep the team in Hartford. Let's go on to some soccer. We had two big moments really in soccer this week. Biggest though for me, Trinity Rodman is officially back. She is officially back.
You don't sound that excited about it, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not excited to be dealing with your attitude.
This is Trinity Rodman on your team, the Washington Spirit. She's been out for like 400 consecutive days.
I'm very excited
about her being back?
I am excited about it, yeah. I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited to see her back in form. She looked like Trinity. I mean, she was doing her spin. She was doing her... I mean, she was on top of the ball. She even had a couple good defensive moments where she cleared it out of the other side. But the highlight of it was her game winner.
Heartbreaking.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
It was.
That's right.
It was
I
heartbreaking.
forget you're from Portland.
It was exciting and lovely, and I was happy it was her. But as a lifelong Portland Thorn fan.
Lifelong. And by lifelong, she
Thorn.
means that about the 60th minute of the game yesterday, she texted me and said, I think I'm rooting for Portland.
I let the flow of the emotions come inside.
You waited until 10 minutes before Trinity came in the game to make that decision. And you're supposed to act like you're heartbroken that she came in and beat your team.
I am happy that she came in. We've been tracking her. We've been hoping that she would come back. Part of us wondered whether she would even come back this season. She's got some decisions to make when the season is over. So it was like the coach got fired. There's a lot there. So the fact that she came back looking good, and then, like you were saying, go ahead.
No, she scored, right? I mean, it was
the first score all season.
Her first score in a year.
Yes.
She hasn't scored in a year. I mean, so we see the cross from Croy. Trinity puts it almost through the back of the net and immediately buckles and starts crying. Like it was immediate. And the team, the way that they surrounded her and were holding her, and then she's kind of like in disbelief. She's smiling. Washington wins. And then immediately after the game, they do an interview with her, and she just starts sobbing. And I think that moment really showed to me just how bad her injury must have been.
Yeah, and like, you've been through very severe injuries before, Sarah. I've been through severe injuries. I've never been through an injury that affected my ability to do the thing that was my competitive sport, right? Like, you were very high level in equestrian. She's obviously very high level in soccer. I never had an injury that kept me out when I was playing meaningful basketball. Never.
Right.
So to me, it's like, I think more about the mental side of coming back from the injury and how back injuries are so tough, and she's been dealing with it for so long. Part of us were wondering, is she going to play soccer again? Is this it? And I bet you that thought went through her head too.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. The emotion, the immediate flood of emotion told me that at least at one point over the last year, Trinity has thought to herself, I may never play again. I may never score again. I may never be with this team again. And I think that seeing that emotion and seeing her have that win, you said, I think this means she won't leave Washington. And I hope you're right.
Yeah. I think when she talked about how her team was surrounding her and how she was like, all I wanted to do was get back with these guys. When you see how fun this Spirit team is.
They're such a fun team.
How many ballers there are. Just so many ballers. Gif Monday was the best player on the field for the first half. Croy Bethune was just making move after move. She was just in the mix. And, you know, Croy and her hadn't played together all season, so this was their first game back together. And
They've
so
barely
that was
played
really
together.
Fun. Period.
They've barely played together at all.
Yeah.
Like,
so I think the sobbing, it was more about, yes, the journey as a whole, but also when you're that tied to a team and you still haven't really fulfilled everything that you want to do there. There's a lot of unfinished business due to injury. And her mom lives there. We met her mom at a Washington Wizards game. Her brother lives there. Her mom lives like kind of near your mom, Sarah.
Yeah, they're not far. I saw the first time I met Trinity was at a Home Goods out in that area
in Virginia. So I think if I'm her, maybe she does play in Europe at some point, but I think she runs this thing back and comes back to Washington.
I hope so, because I really do think that the NWSL needs a Trinity Rodman. I think they do. I think they need that star.
If she leaves it, I think the league is gutted.
I worry about the league turning into the MLS.
Yeah, we were talking about this, you know, Sophia Smith-Wilson being out, Mal Swanson out for this year, both due to not injury, but just having kids. And like, just there's other players who we know and are household names that are starting to get a little bit more long in the tooth. They're not producing the same way. And yes, we have Alyssa who plays for Angel City and some others, but we have so many stars going overseas. I don't think we can take another.
No, I mean, we have, if you look at like, you know, the top 10 players in the world right now, right? There's 3 in the top 20. 2 of those are Mal and Soph.
That's insane.
So, and a third one is Trinity. So you have Barbara Banda that plays in the U.S. That's great. But she's also not an American, and that does not keep people home. You know, great that she's in the league. You have other Americans you have on
Marta,
this list.
but who's also not American.
She's also 39, and we're going to talk about that in a second. She's 39, and we keep saying she hasn't run out of gas yet, but she will. Eventually, she will. And that's just a matter of time. But you have all of these players right now that are so good, that are Americans, that are going and they're leaving and they're going to the UK. And I worry that the US will, the NWSL, if they continue to not make the deals and they continue to not pay players and keep them and fight to keep them in the States, that you're going to see more of these Naomi Girma transfers. And, you know, all of a sudden, the best players in the world are not playing in the US. And we're the MLS and we become the home where, you know, players
People are on
come
their
in
last
the
leg.
last quarter of
Yep.
their career come to retire and get brand deals. And I just hope that doesn't happen.
I agree.
Marta, we were just talking about her. Copa America happened, Colombia versus Brazil. And the finals, Copa America finals. Colombia versus Brazil. There's a lot of, speaking of NWSL talent, there's a ton of NWSL talent in that game. Marta, in the 96th minute, in the 6th minute of extra time, scores 3-2 Colombia. And I mean, they're literally down to their last minute available. Marta puts it in the back of the net, sends it to extra time. It was the most Marta goal. It was a goal only Marta could score, really, is kind of what it felt like.
Yeah, it was absolutely remarkable. I was in the middle of doing something else, saw the goal on social, and immediately sat my ass down and watched the rest of the game. That's the type of player that Marta is. How far she was out to make that goal with that much
Just
velocity.
way outside the box.
Just way outside the box. Like, had no fucking chance.
No.
And it was just
rocket
in, gun, like a rocket. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
man. And then she does it again in extra time.
She does it again in extra time. And Lacey Santos, Washington Spirit player, she ended up equalizing it and sending it to PKs. But, I mean, Marta single-handedly put the country of Brazil on her back and carried them to that PK.
The only thing that would have made it sweeter is if Marta would have made her penalty kick to end the match. That was the only thing that took it from being supremely storybook. She ended up getting the award for best player in the tournament at 39, which is crazy.
She wasn't even supposed to be in this tournament. We have to talk about
Remember
that.
we talked about this?
She wasn't
Like, why
even
is she
supposed to be in
there?
it. Yeah.
Why? She retired from international play. And then it was like, oh, she's going to come back. She's going to come back for Copa. But really, is it going to be like a coach player situation? Like, she's there as a mascot.
Why is she playing?
Is she there really for Brazil because the World Cup's going to be in Brazil? And so she really wants to, like, almost be the brand identity of this team where we don't really know anyone. It's like, no, she comes in and she's a fucking game changer. She's insane.
She wins. She wins the game for them. I mean, she doesn't single-handedly win the game for them, but if without her, there's not a shot in hell that they would have won that game.
No.
So, I mean, we were talking about this and you asked, is Marta the undisputed GOAT? And I think it's a really hard question to disagree with. I don't know how you would disagree with the fact that Marta's the GOAT. I think she has to be the GOAT.
Yeah, I think she's my GOAT. I think she's the best women's player we've ever seen, and with our own two eyes.
I mean, I think there's arguments.
You said she's like the Pele. She's like the Pele, but also the LeBron James.
Here's the thing. I was having this conversation with Sam, and because I asked her, because, you know, she's the soccer expert. And I said, would you say that Marta's the undisputed GOAT? And she said, yeah, I would say that. She said, I think that there are going to be people in different countries who have their own version of a GOAT, right? Like, in Canada, Christine Sinclair is probably the GOAT. In the United States, I think there's argument for Mia Hamm, for Abby Wambach, you know, in terms of, like, who influenced the most girls to pick up soccer and start playing.
That's not what makes GOAT, though.
No. Well, I mean, even if you look at it in terms of, like, international goals, Christine Sinclair leads
I mean, in
all
terms
time.
of holy
Abby Wambach is number
shittery.
2. What?
That's the GOAT, is consistent holy shittery. That's really it.
Okay.
It's like,
and
can
to
she
be
do
fair,
stuff at her peak that, like, almost no one else can do for longer and more consistent?
I think in terms of consistency, I think in terms of style, I think in terms of... I think Marta probably really changed the NWSL around in a lot of ways in terms of, like, convincing people that this is the league, you know? So I think that there's a lot of things that Marta has done in terms, like, that you cannot take away from her. And I think that... But what she is missing is, this has always been the argument Marta doesn't have a World Cup title.
She's gonna get one. I think in Brazil they're gonna make that draw as good as it could be for Brazil. I think it's setting up for Brazil to be right there.
I mean, it would be pretty exciting for a 42-year-old Marta to go out once and for all.
She'd be 42
with
or
a
41?
World Cup win in her home country. What?
She'd be 42 or 41?
She's 39. Next World Cup is 27.
Oh, yeah. So that's 2 years. 41.
It would be awfully cool to see it happen for her. I also like caution the narrative that like if it doesn't, that she can't be the GOAT.
I agree. I agree with that. I don't care. I don't think it really matters. What you see from her, if you watch the NWSL, like I said, she was the first player that I watched. My first match I ever watched was an Orlando Pride game. And I was like, oh man, who is that?
Right.
And all you need is like 30 seconds of her and you're hooked. Not to say that that's what makes you the GOAT, but that's what she continues to do.
I mean, she's a 6-time FIFA Player of the Year.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
6 times? That's like you said, that's LeBron James level.
She's 39 doing this. That's what I mean by LeBron. LeBron is doing crazy things at an age he should not do them at. It is way more impressive for a woman to have her body not break down at 39.
39?
When, like, menopause is coming and ACL tears are coming. All these hormonal changes. And you are still that bitch. She's still that one.
She's still that bitch.
Anyway, that was a great show, Sarah. I hope you didn't mind me giving you a hard time, but that's how it is every week.
Sometimes it gets annoying.
Yeah, but you'll get over it. You always do. Just find yourself some Pringles and call it a day.
They don't have my Pringles at the store, and I'm really upset about it.
I get it.
All dressed Pringles need to come to the United States. If we could get a sponsor for that, that'd be great.
That's all the time that we have for Let Her Shoot. We will be back next Tuesday with more drama, more tea, more breakdowns. There's a lot of excitement happening in the NWSL now that we're back from international break. A lot of things to watch. It's a very top-heavy league, but Kansas City's coming, Sarah, to Portland, so I think I'm going to go to that game in a few weeks. See
you should.
That'd
be a great game.
Who, by the way, just made an insane trade.
Ally
Sentnor, first round pick.
Rich get richer.
They just rich get richer. So we'll see you next week, Sarah. Did you have a good time? Yes or no?
I did. What if I said no?
That'd be a great time to close. That's fine time to close. Also, question for the chat in the community. What more stuff do you want us to talk about? If you have a mailbag or anything like that, questions, send them to us on YouTube, and we'll try to answer them at the end of the show.
YouTube, Instagram, whatever. Send us your thoughts.
All right, Sarah. 3, 2, 1.
Let her shoot.
I'm a hot girl. I'm a hot girl. I get anything I want. This is my world. I make big moves in my big heels. Since the day that I was born, I've been a big deal.